to our first episode of 2026.
Welcome.
And we are not going to say New Year, New Me, because fuck that. That's how you set yourself up for a bad year, and we're not going to do that. But we are going to say New Year, not really new, but New Year YouTube channel, because all of our episodes from now on are going to be on YouTube, full video. So if you are not watching us on YouTube, go do that.
Please. You should be.
Please.
You get to see our beautiful faces.
Our very beautiful faces.
Yeah.
We took time to put makeup on.
We did. And I got new lipstick for this, everyone.
I like it.
Thank you. We are going to be trying some new things.
Yes. In addition to every episode being on video.
Right.
We have some other suggestions that we have been looking into. And unfortunately, we don't have them all in place for this episode because we were not supposed to record this episode for another 2 weeks.
Yes.
Tonight, we were supposed to record next week's episode, which is our paranormal postcards episode. And Joel, the field need, was supposed to come back and join us. And unfortunately, he had to cancel at the last minute because he is not feeling well. So we didn't want to get off schedule. So we just decided we were going to record tonight anyway, but do this episode.
Yeah. And if you are wondering why we are well past Christmas and there are still Christmas presents over my shoulder, my family hasn't had its family Christmas yet. So I have presents over there for my older kids. And I'm not yet in St. Augustine, as you can see. So all of Jen's Christmas presents and birthday presents are over there too.
Yes.
But
and if you're wondering who this adorable little puppy is, this is Ellie. She just came to join. And if you are just listening to us and you want to see the adorable little puppy, go to YouTube.
Yeah, definitely. But we wish Joel a speedy recovery.
Yes, we do.
Because it sucks to be sick. And we can't wait to record with him soon.
Yes. But yeah, we're going to be trying some new things. So definitely let us know some of the changes as you're seeing them, if you like them or if you hate them. Let us know.
If you hate them, be nice. You can tell us that it's not your thing, or give perhaps a helpful suggestion on what you think would work better. But just be nice. We're all about love and light here.
Yeah, don't be mean.
Yeah.
We want to grow and we want to be better, but we also are very sensitive people. So, and especially with us being on video now, please don't be mean to us.
Yeah. I do worry about those people, and we know that they will be here shortly.
We do. We'll get them. I feel like, though, I'm going to be excited for like our first negative comment because it hasn't happened yet. And I feel like once you get trolls, it means you've made it.
Right. And we do have a wonderful ability to laugh at the shittier things. So I definitely think that will come in handy in dealing with those types of situations.
For sure. Also, just wanted to point out that if you are still just listening to us, and things might not make as much sense because we are recording video, as we said, and they will all be on YouTube. So there might be times where there's like a long period of silence because something's happening on the video. And if you're just listening, you're not going to understand.
Right.
I am also planning on starting to play with video effects and editing and things like that. So there might be some fun effects in the video.
Oh, well, we haven't discussed
you'll just miss
that.
out. Yeah. I don't want to commit to it yet because I don't know how good I'm going to be. But we'll see.
I will be drinking wine, and I don't drink wine unless we're recording. I don't drink at all unless we're recording. So occasionally you will hear...
Or she's hanging out with me.
Well, yeah. If I'm with Jen in person.
I'm a bad influence.
The last time it wasn't wine, it was those strawberry lemonades with vodka in it. And
Oh yeah,
boy, howdy did I
we
get
drank
drunk.
that between me, you, and Kristen. We drank that entire Costco size vodka in like 2 days.
Oh my goodness, but boy, did we have fun.
We did.
So you will occasionally hear me say wine break, and then you will hear wine pour, or you may hear Jen say it. I feel like I drink more on the episodes than Jen does, but Jen drinks more outside of recording than I do.
I also start with a very large glass of wine because I drink box wine. So my box is in the kitchen, and that means I have to get up if I want to get another.
Okay. Yeah. So, you may hear something like that, or if you hear noises that don't make sense, again, like Jen said, head over to the video because it'll probably make a lot more sense in that context.
Yes.
Yep.
And please also remember that we have been recording this podcast for 1.5 years now and have only ever released video for our patrons. Except the one paranormal postcard episode with Joel. So we're not used to being on video. So we might forget sometimes that we are releasing this. And you might see us do weird things that we just forgot.
Right. We've been trying to practice.
We have.
But sometimes even when you are aware, your mind just kind of slips, and maybe you get a notification on your phone and you look down to see what it says. I don't know. My kids have a knack for messaging or calling during episodes. And like on the one we did with the paranormal postcards with the Fuel Neve with Joel, like I was blowing my nose, but we didn't know at the time. We didn't know at the time that was going to be video. So that was like really loose.
Yeah. But also, yes, but not as loose as it is with just the two of us, because Joel was there. So we were on like better behavior because there was a stranger at the time, like watching us and there with us. Whereas when it's just the two of us, when we're not recording video, you see all kinds of things. Kelly will sometimes I need to take my bra off, and she'll just rip her bra off in the middle of recording.
Fingers crossed I don't do that.
I will edit that out as it happens.
Thank you.
If you want to see Kelly take her bra off, go join our Patreon page.
Might be a different website, but I'm not on that one. So
Kelly's not on OnlyFans, not yet.
Not yet. Can you imagine?
Well, welcome to our scripted, unscripted banter.
Yes.
Section.
I do have a question for you.
Okay.
What's one moment in your life where you felt watched, even though you were alone?
Can you go first? Give me a second to think.
So I had many of these experiences in the old house. It happened quite frequently. You just would feel that there was a presence there. But I think the one that stands out most to me is the time that I was just doing some stuff in the podcast room and I sensed Birdie here.
Oh, yeah.
Our listener Birdie here with me. But it wasn't like watched in any kind of like a creepy or weird. We told Birdie that she could visit us because we were trying things out. So yeah, I think I would for more recent experiences, I would point to that one.
I don't know. I feel that way a lot.
Really?
Honestly. Yeah. Like, especially when I'm getting ready for bed, because you all know that I become a scared little baby, and I hate the paranormal when it is bedtime. So there's just something about that time for me where I just feel extremely vulnerable. So I feel like any noise or possible activity, I get like super freaked out. Like Ellie will sometimes just stop or like start growling or barking at nothing in the bedroom when we're like laying down to go to bed. And that usually will always freak me out because I'm like, there is definitely a demon standing at the corner of my bed. And that's obviously why she's growling.
Yeah. Instead of demon, think grandma. Grandma's visiting. And Ellie's
I like that better.
Acknowledging grandma's presence.
I like that better.
Ellie's letting me know grandma's here. Or mom.
Yeah.
I don't know what you called her.
Grandma.
Okay. So for me, when I go to bed at night, I have a noise machine that plays ocean sounds.
Yeah.
And I have a fan on. And I play like a sleep story or a sleep meditation. So there's so much noise in my room to get me to lull to sleep that I don't think I would hear a lot of paranormal activity. I did hear that child giggle that one time in the middle of the night. But my sleep stories don't last all night, or the sleep meditation doesn't last all night. It's usually about an hour, just, in time to fall asleep. So when I go to bed at night, I'm not worried about the paranormal at all because I just don't notice it.
That's nice. I mean, I have a lot of noise. Like I have a fan. I have my noisemaker. Occasionally I'll have a meditation, but I don't know. I think I'm just hyper alert during that time. And again, if Ellie notices something and starts growling or barking.
Yeah. I can see that. Well, do you want to get into our episode?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Okay. Tonight we're diving into a different kind of haunting. Not the creaking Victorian houses, not the abandoned asylum with peeling paint and the smell of sadness. Not even the basement your mom told you not to play in. No, this is the haunting that doesn't stay put. This is the one that follows you. Because sometimes the ghost isn't attached to the location. Sometimes it's attached to the person. And that changes everything. Today, we're talking about attachments, energy feeders, emotional echoes, and shadow figures that know your forwarding address. And the unsettling possibility that some hauntings are not about the space you live in, but about you. So grab your nerve and whatever's breathing down your neck, because this ghost isn't letting go.
I'm excited for this one. I have no idea what you're going to talk about.
Well, some of them you are familiar with.
Oh, okay.
Because we've talked about them before.
That makes sense.
But first, I have some facts.
Okay.
And we're not going to separate them between like fun or scary or it's just going to be whatever fun, interesting, or scary facts that we liked the best when we were researching our topics.
Exactly.
So our first fact for this episode is poltergeist-style activity stays with a person more often than like a classic apparition would. So like throwing objects, footsteps, knocking, moving things, they tend to follow people because they're linked to energy, not, the building that you're in.
Yeah.
Which makes sense to me.
Yeah. I agree.
Because, I watch Ghosts, and that's, the TV show is like scientific
of course
research. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
You have your you have your roaming ghost.
Right.
And then you have
that's rare.
Yeah, they are very rare. And then most of them are tied to a location.
Right. So I do get that. That made a lot of sense to me. Also, mirrors are the number one place people claim to see the entity after moving. So it's very common that when you move into a new space, you'll be in the bathroom and you'll flick the light on and you'll see something behind you.
Yeah.
Which I thought was interesting.
Yeah. Mirrors are obviously said to be portals. So I feel like there's a lot that can get attached to them, which is why I personally will never buy a mirror from like a thrift store or secondhand. No.
I would. I don't know why. I don't like to fuck with mirrors. Like I don't want to sit in front of a mirror and do any like activities in front of it. But I feel like I've done a good job at keeping my space clean.
Yeah.
Even if there's something that is unsettling.
Yeah.
So
if you do get one, and when you move into a new space, I always recommend cleansing.
Definitely.
Yep.
And our last fact is, and this blew my mind at how common this was. A lot of people claim that they feel a hand on their shoulder after moving into the new home as a physical reminder to them that whatever activity or ghost or poltergeist activity that was at their previous location has found them or followed them to this one.
I don't like that. Especially if they moved to I guess it could be good. It could be comforting or terrifying, depending on whatever spirit you had attached to your old place. I could see
Right.
being, like I said, terrified in some cases, but then also very comforted in others.
So when we first moved here, I wouldn't have been upset that.
Yeah.
But one of the things, I was happy to move out of the house that we were in because we literally call it the shit house when we talk about it.
They do.
And one of the things I thought I would miss when we moved was the activity. But we do have things here. It's not a fraction of what we experienced at the old house, though.
Well,
not at all.
You brought activity into this house with all your dolls.
Into your house or
into your house.
Right. I didn't have too much. I think back to little things now that could have been something, but I wasn't really framing it in a paranormal way.
Yeah, that's fair.
Until I started bringing the dolls in. So I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely have some stuff that happens now. So most people think that hauntings are tied to places. You see it all the time. There's an old house. You're like, I don't want to live there. I don't want to go in there. That's haunted.
Unless you're us, then we're like, you see an old house. I do want to go in there. I do want to live there.
When I was a kid, so it wasn't when I was a teenager, I saw a Victorian house, an old Victorian house. And I said to my mother, man, I bet you that place has got ghosts. I wouldn't want to live there. And she said, you have said that to me your entire life. Even from when I was little, that I bet you that house has ghosts. I don't want to live there. And I'm wondering if I wasn't just picking up on something.
Yeah, probably.
At that point. Because she's like, you say that a lot.
Yeah, how times have changed because now you do want to live there.
Right. Old houses, abandoned hospitals, basements you absolutely should not go into, but do anyway. Because horror movies taught us nothing.
Yeah. Pretty much.
But there's another kind of haunting that doesn't stay politely inside four walls. This is the kind that sticks with a person. You move, you pack your life into cardboard boxes, you switch states, jobs, relationships.
I'm sorry, I have to interrupt. I think I just saw whatever Jen D saw the other day. It was like a white light that went right past that top shelf.
Well, then that leads me to think it's something from outside or something.
It's possible. It is dark, so it could be a headlight or something.
But I can see the window. Usually I notice that.
But I've also never seen it before.
Well, that is true.
And
there's a new doll.
And we're on video, so I can go back and check and see.
Okay, yeah.
At that time.
We do have a new doll.
Yeah.
Here. Now, I know no information about this doll, but it was found.
Oh.
And Rebecca brought it to me because she knows I like Raggedy Ann and Andy.
Okay.
And when she put it in my hand, I felt it.
I mean, you usually do feel something when it's in your hand, Count.
No. I felt the energy of something. So we don't know anything about this one yet.
Yeah.
I have not gotten a name. We'll see.
But I definitely saw something. So we'll have to look
if it says Annabelle, I'm burning it. I just want to say.
That's fair. But yeah, when we had our Patreon live 2 days ago, Jen D had pointed that out, that she saw something at that same exact spot.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't remember where I was.
Sorry.
That's all right. I was saying you move, you pack your life into cardboard boxes, you switch states, jobs, relationships, and the activity comes right along for the ride, like paranormal luggage. In the paranormal world, investigators usually break hauntings into two big categories: location-based and person-based. A location-based haunting is where the place itself is imprinted with the energy. Something traumatic happens there, something emotional, and something that it's like the energy soaks into the walls.
Yeah.
And anyone who walks in might feel it. And that would be your classic style haunted house. But a person-based haunting is completely different. This is when something becomes attached to you specifically. These kind of hauntings show up anywhere you go. Your dorm, your office, your new house, new car, and grandma's guest room. Even your vacation rental, where the only thing you should be worried about is whether the hot tub is clean. These hauntings don't obey property lines. I have a fascinating little story about that too.
Oh, okay.
So I have somebody I used to know, and she had something that was everywhere with her. And I've been with her and experienced this activity. And it was some of the creepiest things I've ever experienced. I've been in her car and we've heard like shuffling in the back of the car. We've been at the grocery store, and as she was walking down the aisle, things were popping off the shelves.
Oh, that's
like one
weird.
by one. She had moved. Every house she lived in had something. And I was at her house one time, and she had this hallway light that would come on and off all the time. And it creeped me out so bad. And she was taking a shower, and we were getting ready to go out. And I'm sitting in her bedroom waiting for her to get out of the shower, and the light is just turning on and off, on and off. She gets out of the shower and comes into the bedroom, and I hear footsteps run up her stairs. And right by the door, I look over, I can see the stairway. There's nothing there. Nothing at all. Then I hear all this movement in her kitchen, which is like, if you go up the stairs and walk straight, that would be the kitchen.
Yeah.
So we turn the light off in the hallway. We get into the car, and I look at her and I said, that light comes on. And as I looked up, that light flipped back on.
Of course it did.
I was like, absolutely not. So I have experience with somebody that has this stuff happen to them.
That's interesting. I also wonder too if like in some of those scenarios, it's not necessarily an attachment as maybe just that person's energy is open to it. So when there are spirits around, they interact with that person because of their energy.
Could be.
Yeah.
There are a few terms to describe this. The first is attachment. That's when a spirit or entity latches onto someone for emotional, energetic, or personal reasons. It might be drawn to the person's energy, to their attention, their vulnerability, or even their personality. Some people describe attachments as clingy roommates who never pay rent. Except instead of eating your snacks, they feed off your energy and occasionally show up in the mirror behind you.
No, I don't know.
No.
Mm-mm.
There's also the idea of parasitic hauntings. These are entities that don't just hang around, they drain. They thrive off of fear, turmoil, and emotional chaos. The more distressed the person becomes, the stronger the activity grows. These aren't spirits tied to unfinished stories. They're opportunists.
Like the boo hag.
Then you have emotional imprinting or resonance. And this is when something traumatic or intense happens in a person's life that creates a kind of energetic echo. And the spirit connects to that echo rather than the environment. In this view, the haunting isn't random. It's targeted because the person's energy matches something the spirit recognizes or needs. And I thought that was interesting that I've never really looked at paranormal activity as the spirit needing something from us.
Yeah, that's an interesting way to think about it.
I know that it can feed off of stuff, but just because it can feed off of stuff doesn't mean like it needs.
Right.
So
sorry if you can hear those dogs. My neighbor's dogs decided it was the time to bark.
Yeah. And they're so considerate. Yeah, so I never thought about spirits needing something from us.
Yeah, it is interesting. Maybe they just need to get sucked off.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
And that's a ghost reference for those who don't understand.
Yeah. Some of them sound like they really need to go down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. And then some of them want to ride the other one while they're getting sucked off.
Right. I actually have a poster in my room that says that.
I know. You've shown me.
Yeah. I love that show so much.
Yeah, it's a great show. If you're not watching it,
Again,
go watch it.
Go watch it because it is absolutely 100% fact. Everything.
100%, of course. If you want to see and talk to ghosts, you just have to fall down the stairs.
Was it down the stairs?
Yes.
Oh, I think in the British version, she falls out a window.
I haven't watched the British version.
Oh, it's so good.
Is it?
It's so good. It's different, but the same.
Okay.
But they have a character in there called the Captain, and he is mine and Katie's just absolute favorite.
Okay.
So they have like kind of the same, like some of them have like, so instead of having a Viking, like in the US version, they have a caveman.
Okay.
Which is wild to me to think of ghosts from way back then.
Yeah.
Like they have to exist, right?
I mean, you would think.
Right.
Unless they've been sucked off.
Unless they've been sucked off. Yeah, you have to watch it. It's
okay.
The Captain is the absolute best.
I will definitely watch it.
Yeah. Okay, back to the episode.
Sorry.
We be tangenting.
Just a little.
That's not a word. That's not a word.
We can make it a word.
We can do anything we want.
We can. It's our podcast.
Well, and I forgot what I'm making my own. Any hoodles.
Yeah.
On the lighter end of things, some investigators talk about the beacon effect. This is when someone is simply more tuned in, more open, or more sensitive than your average person. They notice spirits when others don't. They unintentionally signal, hey, I can hear you, like holding up a neon vacancy sign for ghosts. And once spirits figure out that someone can perceive them, they tend to stick close because finally someone is paying attention.
So
listen, I need a lot of attention. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this is going to be me as a ghost because I need a lot of attention.
Oh, for sure. Don't ignore me.
Yeah.
Don't ignore me.
Right.
I'm going to make your life hell until you notice me, and then
listen,
we'll be good.
Chances are I'm dying years before you die.
Probably.
And other than my children, I am going to be sticking close to you too.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm not going to be doing any of this. Like, I need people that will acknowledge me, and I know that you will.
Yeah.
Right?
As long as
my kids will be like,
leave me alone when I'm sleeping, we're good.
If you knew it was me, would it bother you?
Probably not, but the question is, would I always know it's you, or would I sometimes think it's something else?
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. And out of respect for that,
yeah,
I would leave you alone.
Thank you.
Only when you're sleeping.
Only when I'm sleeping. Other than that, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Come intrude on my life.
Just hang out. I'll hang out in your living room and watch some TV or something.
Perfect.
Until you wake up.
I'll leave the TV on for you.
Oh, thank you.
Like they do in Ghost.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can like have a novel open.
Yeah, exactly.
I wonder what my ghost power will be. Anyway, we're tangenting again. No matter which theory you lean towards, the core idea is the same. Not all hauntings are about buildings. Some are about the person. And that means the scariest part isn't the idea of moving into a haunted house. It's the realization that you might bring the haunting with you, whether you want to or not.
And we do.
So we're going to get into a couple of famous cases where people report that activity has followed them. And then other cases where I could not find a lot of identifying information about the people that had reported this activity.
Okay.
Because not everybody is willing to publicly broadcast that they're going through something like this.
That's fair.
The first case we have is the Lutz family from Amityville.
Oh.
During their brief stay at 112 Ocean Avenue, the Lutz family reported overwhelming disturbances, strange smells, cold drafts, unexplained noises, and a constant sense of being watched. George Lutz described waking up at the same time every night, hearing doors slam and seeing fleeting shadows move across the house. After leaving the home, the family claimed that certain sensations and events appeared in their next residence. especially the oppressive feeling George felt in specific rooms. Some phenomena. Do, 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 do.
I don't know why I felt the need to lean in to say that. Like,
They believed were tied directly to them rather than to the house, such as vivid nightmares, sudden cold spots, and the feeling of a presence standing behind them.
or they faked the whole thing and lied about this too.
They could have.
He
They absolutely could
will
have.
dive even more into the potential of that being faked in a couple of weeks, because there's a very famous couple that was involved in the Amityville case, and we're talking about them.
Yep. George Lutz.
Sorry, we're returning from an existential crisis that I just had that I'm not keeping in the episode. But I realized I forgot to do something for the podcast, and Kelly just told me that it was okay and I need to stop killing myself over little things that probably don't matter. So that's where that tension came in, if you were wondering.
And, well, I laughed because I almost said George Sluts.
Oh,
George Sluts instead of Lutz,
okay.
which would have been funny.
Yeah.
Nothing against sluts. Personally, I love them.
Yeah. It's great.
George Lutz often described the experience as feeling followed, like the presence had chosen him specifically, or at least attached itself to him during their time in the old house. The family described a sense of being accompanied by something they could not shake.
Real
Yeah,
convenient.
You just got to let it go for this episode, Jen.
But
You've already foreshadowed it.
one more thing. It's convenient that they said the spirit followed them, considering that nobody else in that house has reported paranormal activity since.
That doesn't mean they don't experience it.
It doesn't. It doesn't mean it. It's just...
It could be people saw the shit show that accompanied when people did talk about it. Or
fair.
Or they're just total fucking frauds and there's no activity there.
No.
Yeah. That's always a possibility.
I just have very strong opinions about the Amityville case. And not everybody
I can
agrees
tell.
with me on it. And I haven't even done the research for this episode yet. But obviously we covered Amityville way back when. So I know a lot about it already. But
Right.
yeah. Sorry.
So our second case is the Ammons family from Gary, Indiana. Now, you have talked about a little bit about this on a previous episode, and I asked you if that was the house that was bought by a paranormal investigator.
Yes.
That we don't like.
Yes. You're right. Yeah.
And you said yes.
Yeah. The fuck was that?
I don't know. It sounded like something fell, didn't it?
Yeah.
But nothing's fallen. The only things that are on the floor are the two things that were on the floor when I moved them from the desk and put them on the floor before we started recording this. And it's that same corner that you guys have seen at light.
Mm-hmm. I honestly thought the door was about to open. But it didn't.
Okay. Alrighty.
Yeah. I don't think we haven't done an episode on this house yet. I think we mentioned it when we were talking about movies. Because obviously they made a movie about it.
Right.
Which was the name of that movie again?
I have no idea. There's a documentary that particular paranormal investigator, and I use that term loosely when describing this gentleman, made that I think was total bullshit.
I couldn't watch it. I can't watch anything this person does.
I watched it before I had as strong opinions about him as I do now. I had seen him on his other shows, and I never particularly liked him, but the topic was interesting enough to me that I wanted to see kind of how it played out.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, I was like, oh, this is all just made up.
Yeah. Set aside.
I don't think the activity in the house was made. Like, I think there's real things that happened in that house. But I mean, that documentary and the way that they orchestrated it seemed a little hokey.
And set aside all my opinions about this person as a individual. I don't like the way he investigates, which is why I can't watch him. Like, before I even knew any of the other controversial issues with him, I started to watch. It was actually after I went to a certain location in Las Vegas and wanted to watch an episode on that location. And I literally watched like the first 30 minutes of it, and I had to turn it off because it was so over the top and so dramatic that I'm like, that I can't. It's not my style.
I watched him outside at a location pick up a slight temperature drop and start yelling that was irrefutable proof of the paranormal. And I don't think it is.
Yeah. I don't like the dramatics. Like, I'm okay.
Anyway, enough.
Sorry, one more thing. I'm okay watching ghost hunting shows where nothing happens. Like, I know that a lot of people aren't, and they want everything to be like super scary.
That's honest.
Right, but that's realistic. If even other groups that we, have loved in the past, I sometimes question of like, how in every single episode are they getting all of this activity? Because that's not realistic. If you've ever investigated, that's not what happens.
That's why I liked Ghost Hunters, because they would say, we found nothing. When we did the old jail, we were like, we don't really have too much to really... Yeah, it's a weird Estes
but that was about
session,
it.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
So in 2011, Latoya Ammons and her family experienced extreme activity in their home on Carolina Street. Footsteps when no one else was home, shadowy figures, wet footprints on the floor, violent behavior changes in the children, and episodes that witnesses described as unnerving and unexplained. Social workers, police, and hospital staff reported odd occurrences during interventions.
Yeah. The movie, by the way, sorry, I was looking that up, is called The Deliverance for anyone who wants to watch it.
So even after temporarily relocating, the family reported continuing symptoms, feelings of being watched, nighttime disturbances, and episodes of the same behavior that had frightened them in the original house. Some accounts suggest Latoya continued to experience unusual sensations and spiritual pressure even in the new environment. Latoya often described feeling targeted. Latoya felt targeted.
Of course.
That whatever was affecting her children was focused on her family, not the building itself. She believed the presence was attached to the people involved, which is why relocation alone didn't immediately resolve the activity.
Yeah.
Now, if we are to believe the documentary that this investigator made, a lot of that activity was still there. Although in that documentary, there was a homeless person kind of squatting in that house.
No.
And he did, I think, nod to activity happening, but he was like, it's fine.
I mean,
it's fine.
If you're an unhoused person, then you have a house. I feel like I would not be picky about the house if things were happening.
Right. However, if the activity that was happening in the documentary was going on, I think you would care.
That's fair.
I think you'd be like, this ain't the house for me. I'll have to go somewhere else.
Maybe the demon that was there was okay with the person that was squatting. Maybe he was cool. So he's like, I'm going to leave you alone. But then this other douchebag walks in to do a documentary and he's like, fuck this guy.
I was just going to say, maybe he wasn't an insufferable douche. But there is in the, again, documentary reports of this activity.
I love the air quotes.
Other people that were in the documentary that followed them to the hotel. But again, I don't know how much of that is just made up bullshit.
Yeah, I don't either. But the movie, The Deliverance, was a good movie. Again, I have not looked into the true story, so I do not know the comparison on what was true and what wasn't, what was fabricated or exaggerated. But it is interesting. I'm assuming the main big concept is the same, is that it was a lower income single mom struggling to get by with 2 kids. And she, if I'm remembering correctly, and I apologize if I'm not, I think she had an alcohol problem.
I don't know.
I think she did. Remember. So she was, in and out of, addiction and all of that. So there was a lot of trauma in that house, which feeds into a demonic or negative entity and the energy, and that's very reasonable to understand why it fed so much on that family and attached itself to that family. If all of these things that were in the movie were true, again, I don't know. I have not done my additional research. This is just based on the movie.
I believe in the documentary, there was an exorcism that took place.
Oh, okay.
One of the children.
Yeah,
I do know that
kind of happened in the movie too, but not with
one of the cases,
bag.
Or one of the activity that was reported was at the hospital. The youngest child climbed up the wall.
Yeah,
and that was corroborated by the social worker.
Yes, that was there. I think that happened in the movie.
The hospital staff. Yeah.
I mean, come on. If that is a report that it happened in real life, how are you not including that in the movie?
Right. I'd be more inclined to believe the Hollywood movie over the documentary.
In this specific case, I agree.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to talk now about a young girl who repeatedly saw a pale figure, silently in her bedroom doorway throughout her childhood. The figure never spoke, never moved, and never approached. It simply appeared night after night.
Was it wearing a hat?
No.
Okay. Just asking.
When her family moved several states away, she felt immediate relief. But the first night in her new room, she woke up to the exact same figure standing in the exact same posture as if it had been waiting for her. Over the next several months, she reported seeing it in different rooms of the house, always positioned in the same way. The child later described the feeling of being accompanied, as if the figure wasn't trying to harm her, but had chosen her specifically and simply followed wherever she went. Not protective, not aggressive, just presence.
That's interesting. I feel like, I know I don't like things when I'm sleeping, but I feel like if it kept happening night after night and nothing bad happened from it, I would eventually become like, okay, yeah, that's Bill over there. I'd have to give him a name if he kept showing up. Come on.
Right. Our next case is a child who often saw a tall, dark, human-shaped shadow in the corner of her room. It never left the corner, never approached, but it watched. Sometimes it appeared closer than the night before, but always just far enough away to keep the child in suspense. No? It's a lot of watching figures.
Yeah, watching while you're sleeping and children. What did Joel say in that Paranormal Postcards episode? Chris Hansen It's gonna.
Oh,
we need
right.
the ghost Chris Hansen to come.
Yeah.
Just it's creepy.
Even after moving to a larger home years later, the shadow reappeared in the new bedroom, positioned in the same relative spot, the corner opposite the bed. As the person grew older and moved into their first apartment, the shadow made itself known again. Same height, same distance, same silent observation. This person described feeling chosen, not because they wanted attention, but because the entity acted as if it had been with them long before they ever noticed. They described it as a lifelong presence, not a housebound haunting.
Okay.
So these cases share a chilling lesson. When the activity follows the person, the haunting becomes personal. It raises a deeper questions, not about the architecture of the house, but about why the entity chose this particular individual and what it wants, now that the person has nowhere left to run.
Yeah.
So we are going to get into the skeptical breakdown.
Okay.
And then we're going to talk about ways to break attachments.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are we going to talk about ways to attract an attachment?
No.
Oh.
But I did send you a book to read.
You did.
Earlier that can help with that.
Okay.
Whenever you talk about hauntings that follow people, you inevitably run into the same question. Is there something supernatural happening, or is there something psychological happening? And skeptics have their own set of explanations for why a haunting might seem to come along for the ride. One of the most common theories is that people carry their stress and fear with them. If someone has been living in a place where they constantly felt uneasy, unsafe, or on edge, those sensations don't magically disappear when they move. The human brain gets conditioned to expect danger. It recreates familiar patterns even in new environments. A creak in the old house becomes a creak in the new one. A shadow in the old bedroom becomes a shadow in the new hallway. The fear follows the person, not because the ghost did it, but because anxiety doesn't respect moving boxes. I can attest to that.
Anxiety doesn't respect anything. Let's be real.
Particularly logic.
No. Oh, yeah. Can attest.
Yeah. Another skeptical explanation focuses on memory. Once someone experiences something frightening, the brain holds on to every sensory detail associated with it. That is a survival mechanism. So when they're in a new house and they hear a noise that even vaguely resembles the sound from the old one, their mind connects the two instantly. Suddenly, the new noise feels like proof that the same presence is with you, even if it's just pipes settling in the new house. Sleep disturbances also plays a huge role. People who experienced intense fear in their previous home often have disturbed sleep, even after moving. That means sleep paralysis, vivid dreams, nighttime hallucinations, and the sense of a presence in the room can follow them. And because sleep paralysis episodes often repeat the same imagery, it can feel like the same entity keeps showing up no matter where they live.
That I understand for sure.
Yeah. Skeptics also point...
Sorry, it depends what your beliefs are on sleep paralysis, whether you think it's purely psychological or if there is some type of haunting or activity attached to it.
I think it's psychological.
I think it's a mix of both.
Well, not psychological. I think it's physiological. Yeah. I think it is that your brain is awake, but your body is still paralyzed.
Right. But I think there's something in that state that we're able to sense that we're not able to sense necessarily in our awakened state.
Danger? Because that's all I ever sense in that state.
Well, I mean, that's danger. You, but I'm talking about like the people that see things. I just think it's...
I don't know anybody that feels like they have a good experience with sleep paralysis.
Oh, and I don't think so either, but I I feel like there are too many similar things, not just feelings, but things that people see across culture and decades to not have some type of paranormal tied to it. I don't know. Maybe it's in that state you're more vulnerable, so things tend to show up. But I don't think it doesn't happen every time because, again, same thing. Most of my sleep paralysis is just me feeling terrified. Very rarely do I actually see something, but it does happen to me occasionally.
I've never seen anything.
Oh, I have. Yeah, just a couple of times, not a lot, but it's happened.
I perceive things like there will be a specific danger happening, and I know what that danger is, but I don't see anything.
Yeah. So I'm not sure, but
I just kicked my desk and it really hurt.
Good job.
Thank you. Skeptics also point to the power of expectation. If you're convinced something is haunting you, then every new space gets evaluated through that lens. Every unexplained sound becomes a clue. Every flicker of movement becomes a threat. It's not that the person is imagining things out of nowhere. It's that their brain is primed to treat everything as potential evidence that the haunting continues. This can make a new house feel just as active as the old one, even when nothing supernatural is happening. There's also an environmental argument. People often move quickly during stressful times, and they don't always realize that the new home might have its own quirks. Loose wiring, drafty vents, wildlife in the attic, plumbing issues, or inconsistent lighting.
Sorry, you just said wildlife in the attic, and it made me think, have you seen the trashed panda?
At the liquor store? Yeah. Oh, your spirit animal.
I love it. Right? It is my spirit animal. So I love raccoons anyway. So to see this, and then like the local Humane Society made a t-shirt that said trashed panda, and it was laying on the back. Oh my God. Sorry.
Yeah, that was quite cute.
Was.
I thought it was an Onion article when I first read it. But it is great. So when someone already believes that they're being followed by something, these normal house problems feel like confirmation. And of course, there's always the emotional angle. Traumatic or intense experiences don't stay neatly contained in the place where they happened. People can feel watched, followed, or unsafe because those emotions haven't been processed yet. In those cases, the haunting isn't a spirit, it's the echo of unresolved trauma. So the skeptical view doesn't dismiss the fear people feel. If anything, it takes the fear seriously by trying to understand it through psychology, neurology, and an environmental lens. But it offers one central idea. Perhaps the most terrifying hauntings aren't ones attached to ghosts. Maybe they're the ones attached to us. And believe me, when I tell you, I got all kinds of trauma ghosts going on in this head of mine.
And I think there's a mix between both theories, because I think that people who have experienced that type of trauma are more susceptible to spirits and to perceiving the paranormal, because I feel like there's that level of like vulnerability that makes you more open to seeing it.
Maybe, yeah.
It's interesting.
Do you think if I finally process all of my trauma, I won't experience the paranormal anymore?
I don't think it is physically possible for you to process all of your trauma, Kelly. So I don't think you have to worry about that.
That makes me sad and happy at the same time, because I would not want to stop experiencing the paranormal.
I don't think it's unprocessed trauma that makes you experience it. I think it's just trauma in general. You're not going to erase the trauma.
True.
If anything, when you process it, you become more self-aware, and you might even be more open to perceiving things.
We'll go with that one. I like
Yeah.
that one best.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Jen.
You're welcome. That's what I'm here for.
Okay. How can people break attachments? Now, we can't say if any of these are going to work for you if you were experiencing anything like this, but these are just some things to try. You can certainly take what is presented here, look into them further. There's plenty of free resources out there of how to cleanse your space, how to cleanse your energy. And I think one of the most important things that I don't think people necessarily realize is they are in charge of their personal energy and space.
Absolutely.
So,
and if you ever are experiencing anything that you're afraid of, feel free to reach out. Like, we're on social media. Feel free to shoot us a message. We are happy to connect and, give you some advice on, as someone who practices witchcraft and does all of that cleansing and like that spell work, I can definitely give you some advice. And then Kelly is someone who has experienced a lot of personal hauntings and can definitely give you some advice on that end. So feel free.
I was going to say, and as the friend of someone who is into cleansing their space. Listen, I cleanse my space, but I do it because Jen tells me I have to.
Yeah.
Whether it works or not, I don't know.
It doesn't, because she doesn't believe that it works.
I don't know how to make myself believe something if I don't believe it.
That's fair.
So that's your homework, is to figure out how I can believe something if I don't believe it.
Okay.
How to bridge that gap between those two things. Because I know you don't have enough things to do.
Right. My schedule is so light, and
you were just expressing to me how bored you've been lately.
So bored. I have way too much free time on my hands. Right.
So I'm going to need you to figure this out for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Try.
I was hoping to drink more wine.
You said to drink less when it's your episode.
That's true, because I'm talking more.
Like, I'm almost ready for a refill.
I could, when Jen is recording her episodes, I could just
she does
drink out of the bottle.
Yeah.
I don't drink out of the bottle. One time there was a little drop left in the bottle, but it was just
one time.
A wee bit of drop.
Almost every time she finishes the bottle, she takes the bottle and makes sure.
I don't waste it.
I mean, that's fair. I drink box wine, so when I get down to the end, I rip open the box and I pull the bag out and I squeeze every last drop into my glass.
That's a true story too.
It is. It happens every time.
Yep. Okay. When someone realizes the activity isn't tied to the house, but to themselves, everything changes. You can't just move. You have to figure out how to separate yourself from whatever has decided you're worth following. And people try a lot of different approaches rooted in culture, belief, experience, and sometimes desperation. One of the most common methods is cleansing rituals. These can be spiritual, religious, or personal. Some people use smoke, sound, or prayer to push out whatever they believe is attached to them. Others carry protective items or mark thresholds with materials meant to disrupt unwanted energy. For many, the point isn't the ritual itself. It's the reclaiming control after feeling followed for so long.
Absolutely. Again, it has a lot to do with your belief and whether or not you believe that it is working. If you don't believe what you're doing is working, then you don't have that strong energy that you're pushing out to this negative entity, and it's going to continue to attach itself and bother you. Whereas if you are firm and stand up for yourself and find your voice and, are very like, no, get the fuck out, then you're more likely to have more control over your space.
Yeah. Another approach is addressing objects that might carry the attachment. And I think that might be kind of hard to figure out. But people who have lived through these experiences often realize that the activity started around a specific item.
Yeah. Yeah, if it's something comes into the home, like you just bought, like in the last Paranormal Postcards episode, when the one listener had bought the gargoyle from Goodwill and suddenly that night had experiences when they never had, it's kind of easy to make that connection.
And this can be anything, like Jen was talking about earlier, like thrifted mirrors or jewelry or furniture. It can anything.
Yeah. Always smart to cleanse anything, especially thrifted stuff, but really anything before you bring it into your space.
Also, if you have an item with you that you take on a paranormal investigation, it's good to cleanse that as well.
And yourself.
Yeah.
When coming back from paranormal investigations.
Jen's always cleansing me.
I am. I cleanse her.
Yeah. She cleanses me real good.
Yeah, real good.
Oh, goodness.
Wine break. Okay, we're back with more wine.
So getting rid of that object or having it blessed or cleansed in some way can be enough for some people to feel relief. In a few cases, the activity stops immediately, but sometimes you might need to continue to cleanse your space.
Yes. And one other side note to point out, if you are cleansing your space, especially with like a smoke cleanse, but really with anything, you always want to make sure you have a window open because you want to give whatever negative energy you're trying to get rid of a place to escape from. If you don't have a window open, then it's just going to move from room to room as you're cleansing.
I'm just wondering why spirits can't go through a closed window.
I don't know, Callie. It's the rule.
Okay.
It's what I was told to do when I cleanse, and that's what I do.
Alrighty,
so that is
cleanser.
That is the advice I am giving to our listeners who would also like to cleanse.
You are the cleanser. I am just the cleansee.
Yeah.
There's also the emotional side of things. Some investigators and spiritual practitioners believe attachments grow stronger when someone isn't dealing with their unresolved trauma, grief, or instability.
Yeah.
So breaking the attachment might involve therapy, setting boundaries, or addressing the emotional weight that made the person feel vulnerable in the first place.
Yeah. And as you are addressing that unresolved trauma, things might get worse before they get better.
Believe me, I can tell you.
Well, not even with just addressing the trauma, but in the haunting as well, because as you know, addressing that trauma makes you vulnerable and makes you more open and raw and emotional. So that gives that negative entity even more of a chance to feed off of you. I kind of compare it to, and we'll see if you remember this, Kelly, from way back when. Do you remember what an extinction burst is?
I probably don't.
Dog training?
No.
Okay. As you know, I used to be a former dog trainer. That is how Kelly and I met. And an extinction burst for a dog is when the behavior that you've been working on gets worse before it gets better. And I would always tell my clients at that time that that's actually a good sign. They would come in really exacerbated and frustrated. They were like, the barking was getting better, and now all of a sudden he's reverted and like he's so much worse. And I'm like, no, that's good. That's actually good. Stick with it because you're really, really close. So it's kind of like an extinction burst.
Well, I will say it was true when we were dealing with Boogie's barking that it got worse, and it lasted a good 14 years until he went deaf and blind, and then it stopped.
That was the trainer, honey. And I'm not talking about me.
I loved my dog with every fiber in my being, but I would be lying if I didn't say there were times where I wanted to throw him out a window. I wouldn't.
Of course not.
I wouldn't. And I miss his little face every day. Okay. I don't remember where we were. Oh, so one important thing to note is that by addressing things in therapy, it's not saying that the haunting wasn't real, but it's about strengthening the person so the presence has less to hold on to.
Absolutely.
For others, the solution is direct confrontation. I don't know how I feel about this one, but not aggressive, but assertive. So you can talk to the entity, set firm boundaries, or refuse to acknowledge the presence when it tries to get a reaction. Which is interesting because we have a story coming up soon that kind of falls along those lines.
And that's really interesting to me because I am not, I don't hold the belief that ignoring it will make it go away. If you follow us on social media, I recently did a video about the top 5 things that I think are paranormal myths. And that was one of them, was that if you ignore it, it'll go away. I feel like you do need to be assertive and you do need to reclaim your space. I do think that ignoring, not giving into the fear and not letting it scare you is powerful, but I don't think just straight up ignoring it is the answer.
Well, what might work for some may not work for others.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
You try things out, you see what works. Some people describe the activity fading once they stop feeding into the fear of it.
And that's where I think it's not ignoring the entity itself. I think it's not feeding that fear by allowing it to scare you, I think is where that comes from.
Some people claim that if they talk to it calmly and they just acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just an acknowledgement. Yes, you're here. I know that tends to back off a little bit.
Yeah, because they're not all out to cause mayhem or chaos, right? This isn't a Allstate commercial, right?
Well, let's be clear. I will be out to start chaos and mayhem.
That's true. But I said not all of them, Kelly. Some of them just want to be acknowledged. And that's why I'm a firm believer in setting those boundaries and those rules. As you know, we all have those rules with our dolls and the spirits that are attached to them. So I feel like doing that allows them to share your space. While also
I agree.
letting them know that it is ultimately your space and they need to follow the rules.
Yeah. When things become overwhelming, people often reach out to professionals such as clergy, spiritual workers, or paranormal teams. These groups bring their own methods, structured rituals, energy work, environmental analysis, and simply the reassurance that the person doesn't have to deal with it alone is enough to help the person dealing with the activity.
Or you could reach out to your favorite podcast team.
That's right.
We're kind of professionals.
Sure. But even skeptics will agree that identifying environmental explanations that the person hadn't considered can help.
Oh, for sure.
I don't want to say that they would say it, but skeptics can help in that way.
Absolutely.
If you bring someone in that's skeptical and they can point, out to what else could be causing that.
Right. Well,
that can be.
In those scenarios, when you are experiencing a true haunting and you are very vulnerable and scared, it is very likely that you are now perceiving everything around you to be part of that haunting and to be paranormal. So to have someone to be able to come in and be like, X, Y, and Z, these are perfectly normal situations. It doesn't discount your experience. It gives you that comfort in knowing, okay, well, when these 3 things happen, I now know why. So I know it's not happening as much as I thought it was happening, but it's still happening.
Right. There are also stories from people who have tried everything and still felt watched or still experienced their activity. For them, their goal shifted from trying to remove the entity to learning how to coexist with it. Some describe the presence fading over time, almost like the attachment weakened once the person stopped running from it.
Yep.
Others said the activity changed, becoming quieter, less alarming, as if whatever followed them had gotten whatever it really needed. The common thread in all of these attempts is that people want to feel safe again. Whether they turn to rituals, therapy, boundaries, investigation, or cleansing, they're trying to take back their life from something they never invited in. And for many of them, the moment they stop feeling helpless is the moment the haunting finally loses its power. And that brings us to the end of our episode about the ghosts that don't wait for you to come home. The ones that follow you no matter where you go. These stories remind us that not every presence is tied to a place. Some choose the person, some cling to emotion, some attach themselves so quietly that you don't even realize it until you find the same shadow standing in a doorway that never existed before. As you move through your night, take a moment to notice the spaces around you. The new ones and the familiar ones. The ones where you swear you saw something shift in your peripheral vision. Because if a haunting ever did choose you, a new address might not stop it.
And if you loved hanging out with us today, please consider leaving us a rating or a review wherever you listen.
And follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Not My Ghost Podcast for even more chaos.
And if you want bonus episodes and some other extra spooky perks, consider joining our ghosty community at patreon.com/notmyghost,
Got a creepy encounter? Email us at notmyghostpodcast@gmail.com, and you might hear it on a future episode.
And if you actually want to see us reacting to all of this spooky chaos, you can watch the whole thing over on YouTube. So go subscribe and drop us a comment so we know we're not just screaming into the void.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us on this chilling journey through the hauntings that follow you. As you move through the quiet corners of your home, keep this in mind.
If it's not your ghost,
it's not your problem.
Until next time, stay spooky.
And stay skeptical.